Welcome to What the Religion, a journey beyond beliefs, where we delve into the profound mysteries of existence itself. I am your host, Maggie, and together we are embarking on a journey through the tapestry of the very complicated human belief system. If you are someone who is interested coming onto my show, whether you believe in the most outlandish of ideas or you really don't believe anything happens when we die and religion is just a hoax, please send me an email to whatthereligion@gmail.com. I think everyone has a story and I want to hear yours. And hey, if you want even more engagement, consider supporting me on Patreon. Every month I host a live stream where, well, we just kind of sit and chat. I usually will pull out my current religious book I'm reading and we can talk about it together, or we'll just talk about God, ghosts, or, really anything. Oh, and you also get a monthly sticker. If you don't want to send away 5 of your hard-earned cash, please follow me on TikTok for some bite-sized clips of behind the scenes of making this show and some other content that, well, I kind of just put up randomly. And well, that's it. Let's get back to the show. Okay, what you are hearing right now will probably give you a great clue to the religion that we're going to talk about today. Um, I thought that this would be a fun one, considering when I'm recording this, it's May 4th, or May or May the Force be with you, May 4th. Um, if you've ever seen Star Wars, you know what that means. I've I have only seen Star Wars once, many years ago, um, and I didn't really know what it was about before that, let alone that they have their own religion. But turns out they do. So those sounds in the beginning were lightsabers, which is, I mean, I think everyone knows what a lightsaber is. Um, but if you don't, I'll post some pictures so you can see. I mean, they're just I guess a cool weapon that they use in the franchise. But anyway, so today we're going to be talking about Jediism, which is the religion that is in Star Wars. Now, I don't know anything about Star Wars. I saw it one time. I saw it very quickly. I watched all the movies all at once, and then I don't really know what happened because, um, yeah. Anyway, so but we're gonna talk about the religion there because it's not just in the movies anymore. Now they have actual followers, which they call Jedi. So this kind of all started as a joke, actually, in the response to the UK census. I think close to 1% of the population in the UK put down on the census that they were a follower of Jediism, that they were a Jedi. And this was kind of a joke, a way to express their affinity to the Jedi Order. Some people viewed it as a form of protest against kind of the inclusion of religion that they allowed on the form, and kind of to make a statement. But it definitely grew from there. It kind of gained a lot of media attention when this happened because 1% of the UK population, that's kind of a lot of people that kind of just popped up out of nowhere. Um, but over time, it kind of evolved from a joke into a legitimate belief system with organized communities, online forums, philosophical discussions. People begin to see the parallels between the teachings of the Jedi and the real world ethical and spiritual principles, leading to a growing interest in Jediism as a serious path for personal growth and self discovery. They don't really have like a huge significant temple or a place that churches that they um, you know follow in or go to. For the most part, I think it's all online or people who just kind of, meet up here and there. But it's definitely grown. It's more than just, a fandom or cultural phenomenon now. It's kind of a meaningful belief system inspired by the Jedi Order depicted in the Star Wars universe. While it may have originated in the realm of fiction, it's become a source of inspiration and guidance. At its core, Jediism embodies the principles that resonate deeply with many people, regardless of their religious or cultural background. It emphasizes virtues such as compassion, mindfulness, self discipline, and the pursuit of knowledge and understanding. These principles serve as a moral compass, guiding Jedis in their interactions with others and helping them navigate life's challenges with grace and resilience. So we're going to kind of get into the basic principles of Jediism and what they believe. Okay, so in Jediism, I was looking on they have a pretty good website. So if you're interested, go go look at their website. But kind of from what I'm gathered from researching this, they kind of have um, three or four different principles that they live by. And these are compassion, mindfulness, self discipline, and the pursuit of knowledge and understanding. So we're gonna kind of get, I guess, a little into um, the movies. Though I don't want to make this all about the movies. This is, about the actual religion that people follow today. But I kind of wanted to give you a background as to why they picked out these specific things. Because, the religion was based on the movie. Or the religion within the movie. So I kind of wanted to give, like a little detail as to why each thing was picked out. So compassion, Jedi like Luke Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi demonstrate compassion through their willingness to help others even in the face of great danger or adversity. They show empathy towards those who are suffering and strive to bring peace and justice to the galaxy. Now, if you have seen Star Wars, you know what that means. I have seen it, but I don't know what that means. Like I didn't really watch it, honestly. I didn't really watch it, but it was in the background mostly. So anyway, there's a little piece if you know about it. That's kind of where it came from. If you don't care, here's kind of why compassion, why they follow it. Compassion really lies at the heart of Jediism, serving as a guiding principle that shapes the beliefs and actions of its followers. Inspired by the Jedi Code, which emphasizes selflessness and service to others, Jediism calls upon its practitioners to cultivate a deep sense of compassion towards all living beings. At its core, compassion is the ability to recognize and respond to the suffering of others with empathy, kindness, and understanding. It involves not only feeling sympathy for those in need, but also taking action to alleviate their suffering and promote their well being. In the Jedi tradition, compassion is viewed as a fundamental virtue that reflects the interconnectedness of all life and the inherent dignity and worth of every individual. The Jedi Code, with its emphasis on selflessness and altruism, serves as a guiding light for Jedi practitioners in their pursuit of compassion. By embracing the principles of the Jedi Code, Jediism encourages its followers to transcend their own self interest and to prioritize the welfare of others, especially those who are vulnerable or marginalized. Practicing compassion in everyday life involves a range of actions and attitudes, from simple acts of kindness and generosity to more complex forms of advocacy and activism. Jedi may engage in charitable work, volunteerism, or community service, seeking to make a positive difference in the lives of others and to promote social justice and equality. Um, Compassion also entails cultivating empathy and understanding towards those who may be different from oneself, whether in terms of culture, background, or belief. Jedi strive to see the humanity in every individual, recognizing that we are all interconnected and share common humanity regardless of our differences. Really, compassion is not just a moral obligation for Jedi, but a way of life, an expression of their deepest values and commitments. By embodying compassion in their thoughts, words, and actions, Jedi practitioners seek to create a more compassionate and just world, one where all beings are treated with dignity, respect, and compassion. Um, and obviously that's great, right? Like that's not a bad thing. I think a lot of people do seek compassion and seek to have compassion. Um, and the founder, I guess not the founder because this was really founded within the franchise, but the man who really um, submitted the religion to the government to have it as like a recognized religion. Um, he he went on to Good Morning Britain, which I guess is like Good Morning America here in America. And he kind of talked about how he didn't like how other religions were sort of more enclosed and didn't really appreciate kind of a diverse background. And so he really wanted to create a religion or be behind a religion that did really, really foster openness and compassion. And I think a lot of people who sort of follow this, I mean, I'm making a very broad statement here, but I think a lot of the people who may follow this or watch, um, the movies are sort of geeks, which I think is great. I'm a total nerd myself. And, a lot of people I don't think really like accept that. They're definitely, I don't think, the most popular kids in school, right? And so this guy kind of really wanted to foster that inclusion and make sure that everyone sort of felt like they had a place to go. And I think that's really great. I didn't really have a friend group in school. Um, and so I think it's really awesome to, find a place that can accept you. And, if this is you, if this is what you like, then, why not? It doesn't seem like it's really teaching, bad or hurtful things. So, the next point that they follow is mindfulness. So, a little bit about the movie. Jedi training often involves practices that cultivate mindfulness, such as meditation and lightsaber combat, like we heard in the beginning. Characters like Yoda and Qui-Gon Jinn exemplify mindfulness through their calm presence, keen awareness, and ability to stay attuned to the Force. Um, Mindfulness is a cornerstone of Jediism, serving as a foundational practice that supports spiritual growth, emotional well being, and ethical living. Rooted in the teachings of the Jedi Order, mindfulness is a practice of cultivating present moment awareness and non judgmental attention to one's thoughts, feelings, and sensations. At its essence, mindfulness involves bringing conscious awareness to the present moment without being caught up in regrets about the past or worries about the future. It encouraged individuals to fully immerse themselves in their immediate experience, whether it be the sensations of their breath, the sound of their surroundings, or the thoughts passing through their minds. For Jedi practitioners, mindfulness serves as a powerful tool for developing mental clarity, emotional resilience, and inner peace. By training themselves to be fully present in each moment, Jedi cultivate a sense of calm and centeredness that enables them to navigate life's challenges with wisdom and equanimity. Um, in the midst of chaos and turmoil, mindfulness allows Jedi to maintain focus and clarity of mind, helping them to make wise decisions and to respond skillfully to whatever circumstances arise. By staying grounded in the present moment, Jedi are better able to see things as they truly are, free from the distortions of fear, anxiety, or judgment. Mindfulness also plays a crucial role in Jedi training, helping practitioners to hone their awareness, concentration, and self mastery. Through regular meditation practice and mindful living, Jedi develop greater insight into the workings of their own minds and emotions, learning to observe their thoughts and feelings without being swept away by them. In addition to its personal benefits, mindfulness also has ethical implications for Jediism, encouraging practitioners to cultivate qualities such as compassion, empathy, and nonviolence. By being fully present with others and attuned to their needs, Jedi are better able to connect with and support those around them, fostering deeper relationships and a more compassionate society. Overall, mindfulness is not just a practice for Jedi, but a way of life, an ongoing journey of self discovery and self transformation that leads to greater clarity, compassion, and peace of mind. Through the practice of mindfulness, Jedi seek to embody the highest ideas of the Jedi Code and to live with integrity, wisdom, and compassion in every moment. Um, I, you know, I have said this before, but I really think that mindfulness or meditation is really great for the mind, obviously, and can really help. One of the things that I kind of was thinking about was kind of being non-judgmental to your own thoughts. That's kind of a big thing that they teach in meditation is a lot of people's anxiety comes from their own thoughts. Maybe they don't like their thoughts, or they're scared of what they may be thinking, or their mind just kind of spirals. And this being non-judgmental to your thoughts, you can't really, I mean, you could try to control your thoughts, but I don't think that that really works. I think with meditation you kind of just let your thoughts be, and not really pay much mind to them. You're kind of just trying to stay in the moment, and if a thought comes up that you don't like, or you think is maybe intrusive, you kind of just let it pass by. If you continue to think about it and think about it and wonder why you're thinking about it, and all these things, it can get kind of scary sometimes. um, and I think mindfulness and meditation really practices like your your thoughts are not you necessarily, and to kind of just sort of let them go, let them be. And obviously, if you have really not good thoughts, or you things are becoming dangerous, you should seek help and not just try to meditate on it. But I think for the most part, most thoughts can kind of just be let go. And so the next kind of piece that the Jedi's follow is self-discipline. Um, in the movies, Jedi undergo rigorous training to develop their self-discipline, mastering their emotions, impulses, and desires. Characters like Anakin Skywalker and Rey learn the importance of discipline, controlling their power and resisting the temptations of the dark side. Um, and kind of what people do nowadays, kind of embodying the Jedi's dedication to personal growth, mastery, and ethical living. Rooted in the teachings of the Jedi Code, self-discipline is seen as essential for cultivating their inner strength, resilience, and integrity in the face of life's challenges. At its core, self-discipline involves the ability to regulate and control one's thoughts, emotions, and actions, even in the midst of temptation, distraction, or adversity. It requires commitment to overcoming impulses, fears, and limitations through focused effort, perseverance, and determination. For Jedi practitioners, self discipline encompasses a wide range of practices and behaviors aimed at fostering physical, mental, and spiritual well being. Um, some of these sort of may include, with the physical training side, Jedi's engage in physical training and conditioning to develop strength, agility, and endurance. Through rigorous exercise, martial arts practice, and other physical activities, Jedi strengthen their bodies and cultivate discipline in their daily routines. Obviously, being physical is good. I was watching this like 10-minute documentary on YouTube. If you want to watch it, it's a fast watch. um But this guy who was a Jedi was, out in his yard, and he was, it looked like martial arts, is what it looked like. Um, but he was doing these trainings, and I think it also kind of focuses his body as well as his mind, which is kind of leads into the meditation and mindfulness that we were just talking about, in training their minds to be calm and centered, to develop greater clarity, self awareness, and mindfulness practices really help the Jedi to observe their thoughts and emotions without being swept away by them, fostering inner peace, which is kind of what I talked about. They also really focus on mental focus and concentration. So Jedi train themselves to maintain um, that, especially in the midst of distractions or challenges, through practices such as visualization, concentration exercise, and cognitive training. Jedi sharpen their mind and cultivate the ability to stay focused on their goals and objectives. Um, and also a big part of that is also emotional regulation. So self-discipline also involves the ability to regulate one's emotions and impulses, especially in situations that evoked fear, anger, or anxiety. Jedi practice emotional intelligence and self-control, learning to respond to difficult emotions with patience, compassion, and wisdom. um, and obviously this self-discipline is great. It's self-discipline in every part of your body, which, I don't think most people have. I don't think most people even, well, I take that back. I think a lot of people try to have that, but like mastering something like that or having something like that in your daily practices, I don't think people really uh, do or pay much attention to. I think um, these generations coming up uh, maybe do a harder job at that. They really, try to go to therapy and master their emotions and develop that sort of side of them, which I don't think we really see in older generations. And I think that's great. I think it's really awesome to sort of develop that deeper understanding of your own thoughts and your own emotions and your own physical being and mental being. um, I think it's really great. And the last one that I wanted to talk about was the pursuit of knowledge and understanding. um, so in the movies, Jedi are portrayed as lifelong learners, constantly seeking to deepen their understanding of the Force and the mysteries of the universe. Characters like Master Yoda and Ahsoka Tano embody this commitment to learning and growth, always open to new perspectives and experiences. Um, the pursuit of knowledge and wisdom is a central tenet of Jediism, reflecting Jedi's commitment to personal growth, enlightenment, and service to others. Rooted in the Jedi Code, which encourages Jedi to seek knowledge and understanding, this principle guides practitioners on a lifelong journey of exploration, discovery, and self transformation. For Jedi, the pursuit of knowledge encompasses both intellectual learning and experimental insights, drawing upon a wide range of sources and disciplines to deepen their understanding of the universe and their place within it. So there's a few different, I think there's like four different ways that they kind of um, move this along. So intellectual learning, Jedi engage in intellectual learning by studying diverse fields of knowledge, including philosophy, science, history, and the humanities. They seek out wisdom from a variety of sources, including books, lectures, and academic studies, to broaden their perspectives and deepen their understanding of the world. And then they have contemplative practices. Jedi incorporate contemplative practices into their daily lives to cultivate inner peace, insight, and spiritual growth. This may include meditation, reflection, and mindfulness exercise that help Jedi to quiet the mind, open the heart, and connect with deeper truths of existence. They can also, do sort of experimental learning. So Jedi learn from their own experiences and those of others, drawing wisdom from both success and failure, joy and suffering. They approach life with a spirit of curiosity and openness, seeking to learn from every interaction and to grow from every challenge they encounter. Um, and I've been kind of talking about the Jedi Order a little bit here and there, but this is really the fourth thing, the teachings of the Jedi Order. So Jedi draw inspiration and guidance from the teachings of the Jedi Order as passed down through generations of Jedi masters and recorded in sacred texts and oral traditions. These teachings offer insights into the nature of the Force, the principles of ethical living, and the path to spiritual enlightenment. By continuously seeking knowledge and wisdom, Jedi strive to expand their awareness, deepen their understanding, and evolve as individuals and as members of Jedi Order. They recognize that true wisdom comes not only from intellectual learning, but also from direct experience and inner transformation. Um, Ultimately, the pursuit of knowledge and wisdom is not just an academic exercise for Jedi, but a spiritual quest, an ongoing journey of self discovery and self mastery that leads to greater insight, compassion, and enlightenment. Through their dedication to learning and growth, Jedi seek to embody the highest ideals of the Jedi Code and to inspire others to embark on their own journey of self discovery and self transformation. And I really like this part, this pursuit of knowledge and understanding. I just graduated with my bachelor's, and I'm hoping to continue my education next year. Um, and so I have always liked learning new things. There's a lot of things in my life that I kind of just seek out because I want new experiences and I want to learn. And obviously, this whole podcast is um, about learning about religion specifically, but just kind of expanding your mind and uh, everyone has these experiences, and the Jedi seem to, you know, take others' experiences into their own lives and kind of be open to that. And these contemplative practices as well um, sound interesting. Kind of you can just think on your mind and about your life. And I have quite a strange mind. I think um, when this was a few years ago. Um, I really like thinking. Like I enjoy thinking. I have always been a daydreamer. I've always been contemplative, and I thought that it was weird that I could just sit in a chair and just think. I could just think for hours. And I thought that this was so weird that why would I do that? I took up, knitting so that I could have sort of a task that I was doing that I could say that I was doing instead of, oh, I'm just, sitting in my chair thinking, because everyone looked at me strange when I said that. But now I could just say, oh, I'm knitting, but really I just have this whole world kind of going on in my head. Um, and it's not, I mean, sometimes it's about, making up these worlds in my head, but, a lot of it is just contemplating my life, my existence, what the heck we're doing, all these different things, and I really enjoy that, and it sounds like the Jedi enjoy doing that too. So I don't know. Maybe we're both a little weird in that way, but I wanted to kind of go into what is the Force. So if you haven't seen Star Wars, there's this underlying theme or idea of the Force, and obviously in Jediism, um, this is like the governing entity, I guess, that Jediism doesn't have a god. They don't believe in God. They believe in the Force. So the concept of the Force kind of lies at the very heart of Jediism, serving as its theological foundation and guiding principle. Inspired by the mythology of the Star Wars universe, the Force is perceived as a metaphysical and omnipresent energy field that permeates all aspects of existence, building the galaxy together in a web of interconnectedness. In Jediism, the Force is understood as more than just a fictional construct. It is seen as a symbolic representation of deeper spiritual truths that transcend the boundaries of space and time. It embodies the interconnectedness of all living things, reflecting the inherent unity and harmony of the cosmos. Just as the Force flows through every aspect of existence in the Star Wars universe, so too does it flow through every living being and every atom of our own reality. The Force is both immanent within the world and transcendent beyond it, encompassing the balance of light and dark, life and death, creation and destruction. It is the driving force behind all phenomena, from the moment of the stars to the beating of a single heart. In Jediism, the Force is perceived as a dynamic and ever-present presence that shapes the course of events and guides the destinies of individuals and civilizations. For followers of Jediism, the Force serves as a guiding light on their spiritual journey, illuminating the path to greater understanding, harmony, and enlightenment. It embodies timeless concepts such as balance, harmony, and unity, encouraging individuals to cultivate these qualities in their own lives and relationships. Through practices such as meditation, mindfulness, and self reflection, Jedi strive to attune themselves to the rhythms of the Force, aligning their thoughts, feelings, and actions with its guiding influence. They seek to cultivate a deeper awareness of their interconnectedness with all living beings, recognizing that they are but one small part of a vast and intricate web of existence. Ultimately, the Force is not just a concept to be studied or understood intellectually, it is a living reality to be experienced and embraced. In Jediism, the Force is a source of inspiration, guidance, and wisdom, guiding individuals toward a greater understanding of themselves and their place in the cosmos. Through their connection to the Force, followers of Jediism seek to embody its highest ideals and to live in harmony with the greater unfolding of the universe. So, Jediism is not, very structured. It's not super big, and so they don't have these very, and it is not old, so it doesn't have these very deep roots and interpretations in it. So there's kind of a few different ways that Jedi's sort of interpret the Force. There's, kind of metaphorical, pantheistic, or pantheistic sort of perspective. So, kind of the metaphorical interpretation of this is some followers see the Force as a metaphor for natural forces or physiological processes, representing the interconnectedness of all things and the power of human potential. They view the teachings of the Jedi as symbolic narratives that offer valuable insights into ethical and spiritual growth. Sort of the pantheistic perspective, others interpret the Force in a more pantheistic manner, seeing it as immanent within the universe itself and equating it with the divine or spiritual presence. They perceive the Force as the underlying essence of reality, manifesting in all living beings and phenomena. Now, some others adopt the pantheistic perspective, which posits that the Force transcends the physical world while also permeating it. They view the Force as both immanent and transcendent, encompassing the entirety of existence while also transcending it, akin to a cosmic consciousness or divine presence. These interpretations of the Force reflect the diverse beliefs and experiences of followers of Jediism, highlighting the richness and complexity of its theological framework. And I think this is kind of interesting because this Force, you could also think of it as their head, their Godhead. Um, and they kind of give a few different ways that you can really think about it, which I don't think most religions do. I think it's like, this is the God, this is how you need to think about it, this is how important it's supposed to be in your life. And this Jediism is kind of like, well, no, like you can think of it of a lot of different ways, determining like what you need within your life. It can just be, kind of a big web of how we're all connected, or it can be some divine presence, based on you and based on how you want to live. And I think that's really cool. It doesn't have to be this like dominating presence that you need to fear. It can be something different and something that you can really enjoy. Um, and I sort of wanted to touch on a little bit. Jediism kind of draws from a lot of, um, other traditions and other religions, such as Taoism, Buddhism, Stoicism, and it kind of draws little things from these other um, religions. And I just want to touch on this a little bit. I'm not going to go too much into it, but in Jediism shares similarities with Taoist or Taoism philosophy, particularly in its emphasis on harmony, balance, of all things. Followers of Jediism may draw upon Taoist principles such as Wu Wei, which is effortless action, Yin Yang, which is complementary opposites, in their spiritual practices. And Jediism also incorporates teachings from Buddhism, such as mindfulness, compassion, and the pursuit of enlightenment. Followers may engage in meditation, contemplative practices inspired by Buddhist tradition, seeking to cultivate inner peace and wisdom. And Stoic philosophy resonates with Jediism, emphasis on self discipline, resilience, and ethical living. Followers may adopt Stoic practices such as self examination, acceptance of the present moment, and focusing on what is within their control. Um, by integrating elements of these philosophical and spiritual traditions, Judaism offers followers a diverse and holistic approach to personal growth, ethical conduct, and spiritual exploration. It encourages individuals to draw upon the wisdom of the ages while forging their own path towards greater understanding and fulfillment. Um, so I don't know if um, when they were, developing Star Wars, if they kind of based Jediism on these sort of other religions. I don't really know how that sort of came about, but they do. They have these other elements within them that kind of draw on other religions, and I think that's interesting. But maybe it's not interesting. Maybe like it's hard to come up with a unique idea. Maybe it's not interesting at all. And maybe by, through this podcast, we'll kind of see that every religion is sort of the same, which I think is a pretty common thought. Well, maybe it's not common, but I think that um, there's a lot of people who think that their own religion is the best one and the truth and everything. But if you like really step back and look at like the broad ideas of religion, they're kind of all the same. Um, and I think that's sort of what we're going to find through this podcast is everyone's kind of trying to get to the same goal. Everyone wants the same thing, and we don't need to be fighting. We don't need to be like so worried about what the next person's religion is because it's kind of like your religion. It's and I don't know. I just think we're going to kind of see that. And when we get more people on, everyone's lives are very different. And I want to point that out. I want to point out that everyone has a very different way about going about what they're thinking and making how they're making decisions. But really, we kind of all want the same thing in the end, and that's to feel like we belong, and that's to feel like we have a purpose, and um, and yeah. So um, and I mean, I guess to go with that, Judaism kind of the concept of deities differ from traditional religious frameworks. Rather than worshiping a specific oh my god, I can't say that word. Rather than worshiping a specific deity or divine being, followers of Judaism often view the Force as a transcendent or immanent presence that permeates the universe. The Force is not personified in the same way as a traditional deity, but is instead seen as the cosmic energy field that embodies the interconnectedness of all things. For many Jedi, the Force represents a higher power that transcends individuals' identities and belief systems. It is both immanent within the world, manifesting in every living being, in aspects of existence, and transcendent beyond it, encompassing, encompassing the entirety of reality. Followers may perceive the Force as a source of guidance, inspiration, and spiritual insight, guiding them on their journey of self discovery and self mastery. While some followers of Jediism may interpret the Force in pantheistic or panentheistic terms, equating it with a divine or spiritual presence, others may adopt more metaphorical or symbolic view, which is kind of what I talked about. Um, but regardless of their interpretation, the Force serves as a central tenet of Jediism, shaping the beliefs and practices of its followers and providing a framework for understanding the mysteries of the cosmos. And so when I heard this, I kind of was very curious about what they think about in the afterlife. Like, what do they think happens if there's no God? Is there an afterlife? Um, and I thought that was I was excited to learn what they thought, because obviously I didn't glean anything from the movies because I wasn't paying attention. Um, so in Jediism, beliefs about the afterlife really vary among individuals and communities, reflecting a diversity of perspectives and interpretations. While there's no official doctrine or dogma regarding the afterlife, several themes and concepts are commonly explored within Jediism. Many followers in Jediism believe in the continuity of the soul or consciousness beyond physical death. They may envision the afterlife as a realm of spiritual existence where the soul continues to evolve and grow, transcending the limitations of the material world. Some followers of Judaism view death as a transformative process, leading to a new phase of existence or spiritual awakening. They see death not as the end, but as a transition to a higher state of being, where the soul is liberated from the constraints of the physical body, or others take a more existential view of the afterlife, focusing on the importance of living meaningfully in the present moment rather than speculating on what may happen after death. They may embrace existential concepts such as authenticity, freedom, and responsibility, seeking to find purpose and fulfillment in their lives here and now. Really, overall, beliefs about the afterlife in Jediism are deeply personal and may vary widely among individuals. Some may find comfort in the idea of spiritual continuity and transformation, while others may prefer to focus on living in the present moment, guided by the principles of Jediism and the wisdom of the Force. So it doesn't really seem like there's an afterlife. Like, it doesn't seem like there's something to do in the afterlife, or like something like you go into a new life, reincarnation. Doesn't seem like anything like that. It seems more you can become one with the Force, as they say. You're kind of uh, led back into sort of a deeper existence. Um, and kind of this other side to it is, well, there's more of they're more just focusing on the present, and it's more about being within your own body now, and they don't really I don't know if they don't care about the afterlife or they just don't choose not to focus on it, but it's kind of like we're thinking about the here and now and what we need to do today, and on this earth, and they're less focused on what happens when we die. And I think this is also kind of a sort of a total opposite of the really big religions we have today, which kind of everything that you do in life um, is supposed to influence what happens when you die. And that's kind of the fear is, oh, what's going to happen when we die? And it's not so much, I mean, the practices are what you do in your daily life, but it all has an end goal of the afterlife. And this is kind of like, well, no, like, yeah, we may join the Force, but that doesn't really matter. Like, it's more about, are we doing good now? Like, are we happy now? Are we progressing now? And kind of just being in the present. Um, and they don't really talk about, hell or anything, which there is also, from the little that I know about the movies, there is the dark side. Um, and maybe that's hell. I don't know. They don't really talk about that. And then maybe that's just in the movies, a dark side, and maybe they don't really. I mean, I think light and dark, they do follow that in this religion, but maybe not so much as a hell, but more just kind of as a guiding principle of your daily life. Um, if you want to know more about this, they do have a good website that you can go on. I'll link the video that I watched. Um, and there are several books that kind of delve into the philosophy and the teachings, that kind of range from academic studies, to practical guides of inspiration. A few of them are, the one is called The Jedi Path, a manual for students of the Force by Daniel Wallace. um, Another one, The Jedi Handbook, the official training manual of the Jedi Order by Jonathan Rinzel, or The Jedi Circle, Jedi Philosophy for Everyday Life by Scott Owen. So those are a few books that you can read if you really want to, get into it and learn more about what it means to be a Jedi. Um, or you can watch the films. This whole religion is based on the films, is based on the religion within the Star Wars franchise. So watching the movies is a great way to get a basic understanding of the religion, and see, if it's something that you'd be more interested in. And to close this one out, I just wanted to give a few interesting facts about Jediism. So, as we sort of talked about in the beginning, um, the Jediism kind of began as a somewhat, tongue-in-cheek response to the UK's census in 2001. It has since gained recognition as a legitimate religion in several countries. For example, in 2007, the New Zealand government approved Jediism as an official religion for census purposes, allowing individuals to identify as Jedi if they wished. So they get some recognition there. I don't think a lot of countries do recognize this religion as an actual religion, which eh, I don't think I don't think matters or makes much sense, because I don't think religion and government should be mixing necessarily. So if you want to be a Jedi, like, be a Jedi. Like, who cares? I don't think they're doing anything wrong. And then lightsaber combat. Some followers of Jediism engage in lightsaber combat as a form of physical exercise and martial arts training. Various organizations and groups offer lightsaber classes and workshops, teaching practitioners how to wield a lightsaber with skill and precision. I don't think they're going around fighting anyone. If you want to wield a lightsaber, go for it. And then Jedi ranks. So some Jedi organizations and communities have established hierarchical. I can't say that word. You know what I mean. Ranks and titles for their members, similar to those found within the Jedi Order in the Star Wars universe. These ranks often reflect a practitioner's level of experience, dedication, and mastery within the Jedi community. The video that I'll link for you guys to watch, this man, he was becoming a Jedi Knight. And he said that he had been practicing for about a year and a half to gain this status. I'm not sure exactly what he's practicing. It seemed like a lot of martial arts and kind of just learning the ways of the Jedi, and really getting down those four main principles that we talked about in the beginning. But the ceremony was just, online in a chat room. He just had to say kind of the Jedi Code, and then he was a knight. Which, if I was part of a religion, and I wanted to be like this grand knight, I would want a grand ceremony. I would want like a cool cloak, and mysterious church or something. But he seemed very happy. He was very happy with, just kind of going into his chat room. That was where all his, other, peers and friends were. So they were all very happy for him too, and he seemed very happy about that. So, to each his own. It's great, and if he wants to do it, and or if anyone wants to do it, you should be able to do it. There's nothing in this religion that is necessarily harmful that I can tell. Obviously, there's always going to be bad people, but based on what I've learned, um, these sort of commandments or teachings, kind of, you know, I think are what a lot of people should work on. Um, you know, so a lot of people make fun of this religion, but um, they're doing good, I guess. And I kind of just wanted to end this episode on the Jedi Code. So we talked about this throughout this episode. Um, and the Jedi Code is kind of the guiding principles and ethical guidelines of Jediism. There are a few variations of the Jedi Code, but they have a really, and it's a little longer than what I'm going to show you, but in most of the variations, there's a well-known verse that a lot of people kind of go by, and this is the verse that the man becoming a Jedi Knight sort of read out to his peers in the chat to become that. And so I'm gonna play that for you here, and that's gonna be it.
You who seek the ancient knowledge of the Jedi, first you must understand the meaning of our code. There is no emotion, there is peace. There is no ignorance, there is knowledge. There is no passion, there is serenity. There is no chaos, there is harmony. There is no death, there is the Force.
Thank you for joining me on this episode of What the Religion. Just a reminder to email in for an interview at whatthereligion@gmail.com. Even if you don't feel like you have anything to say, try anyway. I love hearing from you all. Also, follow me on TikTok at What the Religion or consider joining my Patreon. And as always, I'll hear you later.